Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game could be full of exciting plays as we have two teams who can get up and down the field. The Titans are top 10 in total yards, and they go up against the Seahawks, who will have to try and slow them down. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Coming up, another edition of the NFL International Series, and it should be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and our home team. As they run the counter play. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it's good enough for a Seattle first.
And that's the way to get things started the first time you touch the football on the road. And you have to believe all week long, all they've talked about is, okay, going into a hostile environment, we're the visiting team. How do we take control of this ball game early? That's one way right there. No fear, guys. And if they had any, it's probably gone after that run.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. Now first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Our chance to show you the offense here, Tyler Lockett. Charles, your thoughts?
Loved him coming out of Kansas State. The third Lockett that played there after his father and his uncle. An absolute true threat every time he touches the ball to take it to the house.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
Looking to cash in on this opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Fresh set of downs here.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On now is the Titans punter. Back deep for the Seahawks, the all-pro returner from 2015, Tyler Lockett. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Now a handoff here to his running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Happy with good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Defense has to stand tall here, 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. And it's taken in at the 9. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Titan football. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Titans are going to have a first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one. And the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And a look at Seattle's defense.
When Bobby Wagner's career is said and done, people are going to look back and say he was an absolute steal in the NFL draft. A Pro Bowl player for any team.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The play fake. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
13 yards there on the pickup, and the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Back to throw again. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
No gain, and it's second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. 3rd down here.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll drop to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? the better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Green, 39! Green!
Back to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. Back to the booth right after this. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
I can't say that I was really in love with the play call there. A draw in that situation, I know it's a risk-reward call. If it works, he walks in. But otherwise, you're bringing up a really tough 4th down situation.
Let's go! Green, 39! Green, 39!
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. This complete to Lockett. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Oh, he's got some breathing room. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
No. Check. Patriots. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance, and they have...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And they'll get him down up past the 15. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we will send you back stateside to Orlando and say hello to Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And the Titans getting set to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That's so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now it's Lockett. And an alley to run. 20, 10, and he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down celebration. This one's coming back. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Room here to run. A great read, and it's picked off. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players.
That one goes for 24 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And they'll run it here. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never...
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jesse James, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Oh, such great concentration. They're going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal play.
That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Lockett. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And depending on the type of screen called, especially when you're throwing it with one of your wideouts, it's different blocking. Sometimes you get great blocking from the other wide receivers helping you. And how about sometimes getting it from the offensive linemen who sell it like a regular screen pass and then get out in front of the receiver and help him get downfield.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. They'll look to throw here on first down. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll look to throw, and he will find his man on the outside. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, or all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to face a 3rd down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. And James has it. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They come out here in the eye. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Offense working with a 2nd and goal now from the 3. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Looking to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. Now back to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jarrell Casey. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They run the counter now on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight, but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Lockett. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And now a first down following that long gain. They come out here in the eye. Now a play fake here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Let's give plenty of credit to the defense there. They stumped them on second and short. But if you're the offense, why would you change what you're doing? You've got a whole nother down to pick it up, and maybe even a fourth if you so choose.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Here we go now.
Third and goal now. Maybe the offense. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw here. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he fields it cleanly. And strong running. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. They'll look to throw. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
That ball was tipped in the air, and while it ultimately fell incomplete, it caused a few anxious moments for the guy slinging it, who's had quite a day. He knows how to get it into the end zone. He's throwing it really, really well. And maybe Lady Luck is on his side because he avoided his first interception of the contest.
Let's go! 3-19!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Back to throw. Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it'll give the Titans a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. He'll look to throw, and he's got it, Fedorowicz. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a really nice fit, but now it's 1st and goal. the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught, Fedorowicz. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Back to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock. And an extra point will send us to OT.
And that touchdown means a decision has to be made. Do they kick the PAT and tie it up? Or do they go for 2 and try and win it right now?
And he has got it. And to borrow a baseball expression, they're going to walk off a winner. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Out come the Titans now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier, knocking down for a loss.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on 3rd down. We've got a 3rd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And some courage there. Your side of the field in overtime, first drive, going for it. Wow, they got it, though.
Sometimes you have the feel that whether you turn it over on your side of the field or you punt it away to them and give them the ball, you're not going to be able to stop them anyway. They decided to gamble on themselves, and that was a big pickup.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Seahawks send out their punter on for a very important in overtime. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickel and dime down the field.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They go back to the air here after the INT. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be second down. Second down now after the pass completion. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.